Hello everyone, my name is Saksham Dixit and this is my channel Pentest Diaries. So today I'll give you the walkthrough of one of the retired machine of HackTheBox. The name of the machine is Pandora. So what are the steps we are taking in this machine to get it compromised? It's an easy machine and I'm using a pivot concept also in this machine to get the final root flag out of it. So let me go to the machine now and just see like how to get it compromised this. So before proceeding further in this video, so this is my technical blog where I'm publishing all the write-ups which I'm creating it of retired machine of HackTheBox. Okay, so you can visit over here and here's a list of all the subcategories, whatever the type of stuffs which I have created so far. So this is my technical blog and this is my technical channel where you can get all the write-ups and everything, whatever the stuffs I've created so far, you can get it very easily over here. Okay, so now we'll go to the machine and today we'll just consider a machine that's an easy machine, a Pandora. Okay, so what's the initial step which we have to do it? You simply have to fire the nmap command just to figure out what exactly the ports are running on the target machine. So let me run nmap. It's 136. Okay, we'll wait for the output. So in the output we can see that port 22 and port 80 is enabled over here. So what's the next step for it? So individually we just have to proceed further just to check like what exactly the stuff is running on port 80. So let me try to get it access the browser, and by that way I'll try to get it access this one. Let me close all the tabs first. Okay, so let me try to get that 136 and this will work for me. Okay, this is a standard output which we're supposed to get it out of it. So now the next thing is GoBuster is one of the thing which we are looking for it. So now we'll put the entry of host entry we're supposed to put it. So let me go back to my terminal once again, clear it. This is the entry we have to do it from our side. It's panda.htb. This is the host entry we have to do it. Once we're done with that, let me run the nmap once again just to identify the top ports out of it. So let me run it once again, the same nmap command with specified top ports we are looking for it. So as we can see the output over here, all the ports are looks like closed. Only 161 is the only port is looks like enabled, which is we call it as SNMP port. So now what is the next step for it? My favorite command I'm running it now, it's SNMP walk. By that way we'll just look for it like is there any strings we can able to capture it by this way or not. So we'll run this command and wait for the output. So we can see that I'm not getting any output, but I think it's already completed. So let me try to open that file and we can able to see a lot of output out of it. So we have to see this file with a keen eyes. A lot of details we can get out of it. Okay, so let me go to the top of it and then we'll just try to read the file appropriately. Okay, so a lot of things is over here. We just have to go more bottom. Okay, this one, this thing. Okay. So over here we have to see the complete file. I'm not seeing any appropriate output which I'm looking for it so far. Okay, I think you have to give more time for this command to get the output. Let me run this command once again and wait for the output. So finally in the output I can able to see, like after seeing this file couple of times, now finally I can see the user and that password over here itself. Okay, so let me note it down this credentials, and now I'm using the same credential to get it login. Okay, so let me try to get it login using the same credentials. So Daniel is the user, target IP address is already mentioned, and the password which I'm getting it over here. Let me try to get it login with that. Perfect, I'm inside of it. Okay, so this is one of the section for it. Now what we have to do, we simply try to see the host file of this file. So as I can see, a lot of things inside of it. So localhost.localadmin pandora.htb and pandora.htb, these are the entries which is already be present over there itself. Okay, so it's look like I have to go for pivoting concept over here. By that way, using this machine this machine as a pivot one, and I'm just proceeding further for the next one. Okay, to get the final root flag, we just have to make this as an in between of it. Okay, so what we have to do, we'll just using a proxy chain. So I'll tell you that what exactly the steps we have to do it in the proxy chain first. So before proceeding further, let me open one more terminal for me. Okay, now I'll put over there, it's so any destination port you can use it over here just to get it login. So by that way we are creating one tunnel. Okay, so using the same password we are using it. Let me try to get it, copy the same password. I can able to get that. Okay, now I am in once again, but this time it's port 9090 is the port is get it defined over here. Now what we have to do, we'll go to the browser, go to this section, as I'll show you that what exactly I mean by that. Okay, go to this section, pivot new. Okay, so the new title you have to create it, SOC 5 you have to get it selected, local IP address and the port 9090, which we have already established a connection with that using SSH. So using that only we are forwarding a traffic from our site. Okay, get it saved, select this one. Okay, now what we have to do, we'll try to approach for this section which is not accessible directly to us when we try to get it access, but now this way we can able to get it access. Sorry, let me log out this sessions. I think I forgot to log out it earlier, that was the reason behind it. Let me try to flush it. Okay, give me a minute. It's not. I think they don't have the appropriate session for it. Give me a minute for this theme. So I've set the cookie at this, that was the reason behind it, it will not allow me. So by default when you try to get it access, you are getting this page. Okay, so now you have to get it login inside of it. So what's the approach for it? So instead of that proceeding further with that, as I have already configured the proxy chain, so let me try and using the SQL map, I'll just try to intrude it using the proxy chain. Let me try to make it this appropriate for me so that I can just run the SQL map using the proxy chain. So first of all we have to configure the proxy chain. So this is the stuff you have to put it in your proxy chain configuration file. You simply have to this line should be commented, and then you have to make it this entry from your side, make it that the username which you're getting it, and this is the password which you're getting it. Make sure this is the local host IP address you have to mention, this is the port on which we are trying to get it connected with that, and that's it. So once you're done with the entry, what we have to do, we'll simply have to fire the SQL map command. I'm not going with the initial one. I'm just going for the advanced one directly, as initially you have to identify that database name or those things you have to figure out from your side. So those things you have to do it from your side. I'm not doing that thing. Once again, it will take a lot of time to get it done. That let me trigger it. It will work. Okay, so as I've already run it earlier, so that was the reason it's not taking much time for me to get it, fetch out the details about it. So in the database, we can able to see these are the tables are present over there. Okay, perfect. So what's next step for it? Now we'll have to go for the table for it. Okay, so individual table, we'll try to dump the data out of it. So let me run this command. I have to run it. So table I have already defined it over there, and then I'll try to dump all the content out of it. I think by this way, I'm not sure how long it will take. Let me try to pause my video and we'll wait for the output. So as you can see that finally we get the password from the history itself, but it's in a format of MD5. So we'll try to figure out something else for it. So there is one of the section where I can say that a sessions is present. So as when I'm fetching the details about the table, so I'm getting there is one of the table where we can see that a sessions also. So let me try to fetch those details also. So we can able to see details about it. So these are the session IDs by which on this portal itself the person is trying to get it login. So Daniel is one of the user for it. I'm looking for, there is one of the user is Matt. Let me figure out the session ID for the Matt. Okay, I can able to see this one. Okay, let me copy this and go to the portal once again. Let me try to replace this, and is there any possibility to save it? I don't think so. Yeah, we can save it also. So let me try to save it. Okay, once we saved it, let me try to refresh it. Oh, it will not. This will not work for me. Advanced version. Let me try to save it. Okay, or I'll do one thing. Let me try to get it, copy this. So what I'll do, I'll just delete this all. Okay, let me create that from the initiate one. Let me copy the session ID. Go to the browser once again. This is session ID. This is the one which we're looking for it. Let me try to get it at. Let me refresh it. Still it's not working. I think something is wrong. This one, this two session IDs is taking it over here. Let me try to refresh it. Okay, this should be working. Let me try it once again. Let me reset the machine and then trial once again. I think some error is over here. So unfortunately over here Matt is not working for me. So I've tried with the one more session ID, which is, we call it as admin1. So I've tried over here to get it login and I'm inside of it. So now what we have to do, we simply have to go to the admin tool, we simply have to go to the file manager, and I can able to see the list of all the stuffs over here. Okay, so that is one other thing. What else we can do it? Now I'll simply have to run, I just have to make it a listener on 7070. Okay, and in the meantime what I have did it, actually I've already uploaded the file, but I'll show you that how to get it uploaded. So in my case I can able to see the file over here, that's 1.php. okay, so what you have to do, you simply have to go to this section, click on it, and you have to browse your file. Okay, and once you browse it, click on go, and it's automatically get uploaded. Once it's uploaded, what you have to do, you simply have to go to this section where the title listing, you can able to see it very clearly. Okay, so I can able to see over here it's 1.php file which is already uploaded from my side. I'll simply click on it, I can able to get the reverse shell out of it. Okay, now I'll simply want to see what's the right, oh sorry, it's a mat. So I'm getting the rights of the mat now. To get it complete, as I'm not getting the shell completely, so let me make it complete. TTY shell, I just have to trigger it and I can able to see the mat. Okay, that is one of the section for it. And now we'll go to the home section, then I'll go to the mat, and I can able to see the user.txt file over here. Sorry, user.txt file over here, I can able to see it. Okay, that's one of those things. So this is the initial flag which we can get it very easily over here. Now what we have to do, so at the time of the animation I have seen one of the file present over here itself, which I can call it as Pandora. Give me a minute. What we call it as Pandora, I think this one is the file. So Pandora backup is one of the file present over here itself. So this file we have to use it, okay, to get the stuff done. Okay, right now it's in a restricted zone. Okay, so what I can do, I'll simply have to go to the home once again, mat, SSH keygen. Okay, this will generate the file for me. Okay, yes, click yes, done it. So by this way SSH key is get it generated. What else I have to do it over here, I'll simply have to fire this command to make it this one as authorized key. So I'll go inside of the .ssh and I'll simply fire this command. So the public key, I'll just get it copy paste to the authorized keys. Okay, let me trigger it, it's working. I'll change the permission also over here. Let me change the permission, I can able to change it. What we have to do now, let me try to access this content. Let me copy this, open another terminal, okay. Now what I have to do, I'll simply delete that earlier content and paste it my new one. Okay, once we done with that, let me try to change the permission of id_rsa, and now I'll try to get it login with this. So we can able to get it login. Now this one is not a restricted zone, restricted shell, we have the appropriate shell now. What I have to do now, I'll simply have to make that file, which is a Pandora backup file, which is present inside of the user bin file. I'll try to get it trigger that, but for that a couple of stuffs which we just required it to be get it triggered. So let me try to get it trigger those things to be get it done early. Before that, let me go to the home and mat. Okay, now what I have to do, I'll just make it this commands working for me. So tar file is required inside of that Pandora _ backup file. So this file is required to get it triggered to make it the root privileges. Now we have set the path also for it appropriately, and now let me trigger that file which is present inside of the user bin file. Once we trigger it, we can able to get the root rights directly. Let me go to the root folder and I can able to read the root.txt file content. So let me explain you once again what are the things we are doing it in this machine. So we'll just start with the nmap first. We'll just figure out like port 80 and port 22 is enabled over here. On the basis of that, firstly with the browser we try to get it access port 80. We'll just run a couple of other stuffs with that. We just figure out couple of things, like it may be a possibility using the host name. We can, if we trigger the nmap once again, we can get other ports we can able to get the result of other ports to be get enabled on the target machine. So that was the reason I tried to put the host entry, and then I'll try for that host once again, and I'm getting the port 161, which is the SNMP port. I'll try to use the SNMP walk over there. By that way I'm getting the credentials in the strings format. I'm using the same credential to get it login inside of it of the machine, and I can able to get it. That is one of the section for it. Now on the browser, once we get it inside of it, we just get the information. That's a Daniel credential. Now the main problem behind it is like we can't proceed further with that with the Daniel credential. So that was the reason. After seeing the host entry of that machine, we just came to know like we have to use a proxy chain, as it's a pivoting concept over there. That's not at all be a final thing where we have to reach it. So that was the reason, using the pivoting concept, we tried to trigger further with that. We just make it on 9090 port. We just trying to make it establish a shell, and on the basis of the tunnel we have created, and by that way we try to trigger that local URLs to be get it access from my base system, and I can able to access the portal. Then using the SQL map with the proxy chain, I'm just figure out the session IDs initially with the credentials, and with that proceeding further with the session IDs. Using the session IDs of the admin, I can able to get it login inside of the portal with the admin session ID. Using that, there is an admin tool section, there is an upload file manager section. Over there we'll try to upload any file, a PHP file, which I can say that in my case a reverse shell I'm using it just to get a trigger at the listener, and I can get the reverse shell out of it. It's took like a restricted one, so that's one of the thing, but like at least we can read the user.txt files, the initial flag, we can able to read it very easily by this way. Once we're done with that, there is a file present over there in the user bin file itself, which we call it as a Pandora _ backup file, which we tried to get it access, but it required the permissions to be over there itself, which is we don't have it. So using the SSH keys, and we just try to create a new public key and the private key. Public key we try to replace with the authorized keys, and the private key we just copied it on our base system, and by that way we try to get it login inside of the main machine once again with the mat credential. And I'm inside of it. Once we inside of it, we try to make it the tar file which is required for the Pandora file, backup file, and change the permission, change the path, and by that way when we trigger it, we can able to get the root rights, and we can able to read the root.txt file. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this video, please subscribe my channel. If you like to give the feedback, you can give the feedback in the comment section of this video. If you like to connect me, you can connect me directly on LinkedIn. I'll provide the LinkedIn profile link in the description section of this video. If you like to share some different type of reference link for this machine itself, if you think like whatever the techniques I have used it is not looks like appropriate one, you can share it the links with me. I'll just go to the complete links, and on the basis of that, if I feel like this reference link look good, and on the basis of that, I'll try to make a new video on the basis of the same machine, so that it's a bit easy for you to solve this machine a bit faster. Thank you so much once again. Take care. Bye bye.